She arrested me by mistake, then couldn't let me go for real. The handcuffs bit into Mia Reynolds' wrists like a lover's too-tight grip. Cold metal kissing skin still warm from the summer night. Sirens wailed in the distance, a jagged symphony slicing through the humid Manhattan air, thick with the scent of rain-soaked asphalt and distant garbage trucks rumbling like distant thunder. Mia's heart hammered against her ribs, each beat a frantic Morse code of what the fuck is happening. She wasn't a criminal. Hell, the closest she'd come to breaking the law was jaywalking to catch the perfect light on a graffiti wall at dusk. But here she was, shoved against the gritty brick of an alley off Bowery, her cheek pressed to the rough texture that smelled faintly of urine and forgotten dreams. "Hands where I can see 'em." The voice cut through the chaos like a knife through silk, sharp, authoritative, laced with that no bullshit edge only a cop raised in the Bronx could wield. Elena Vargas. Mia didn't know her name yet, but she'd feel it burn into her memory soon enough. Elena's silhouette loomed in the sodium glow of the street lamp, broad shoulders squared under a navy NYPD jacket, her dark hair pulled into a severe ponytail that did nothing to soften the angular lines of her face. 35 years of chasing shadows down these streets had etched faint lines around her eyes that now locked onto Mia's with the precision of a hawk spotting prey. But there was something else there, flickering like a glitch in the system. Hesitation? No, couldn't be. Cops like her didn't hesitate. "You're under arrest for suspicion of vandalism and assault," Elena barked, her voice echoing off the alley walls, boots scuffing the puddles as she advanced. Her gloved hand clamped down on Mia's arm, firm but not cruel, sending an unwelcome shiver up Mia's spine. Assault? Vandalism? Mia's mind reeled back to 20 minutes ago, sketching feverishly on a condemned warehouse wall, her charcoal flying as she captured the raw pulse of the city. The homeless vet with his cardboard sign, the lovers tangled in a doorway, the endless grind of neon dreams. She'd heard shouts, a scuffle, then chaos. Next thing, blue lights flashing, and this woman, God, this woman, pinned her like she was the villain in some gritty cop show. "I didn't do shit," Mia spat, twisting against the hold, her voice cracking on the edge of panic. The words hung in the air, heavy as the humidity clinging to her paint-splattered tank top. She could smell Elena now, leather from the gloves, a hint of jasmine soap cutting through the urban rot, and something earthier like the faint trace of gun oil. It was intoxicating, wrong, all of it. Mia's breath came in short gasps, chest heaving, and she hated how her body betrayed her, how Elena's proximity made the alley feel smaller, the world narrower. Elena's jaw tightened, a muscle ticking like a countdown. She'd been on the job 14 years, seen every flavor of lowlife from dealers to domestic brawlers, but this one, this wiry artist with fire in her green eyes and freckles dusting her nose like stardust, didn't fit. The report had come in hot. Female suspect, mid-20s, assaulting a security guard during a break-in at the warehouse. Description matched. Slim build, auburn hair in a messy bun, clothes streaked with what looked like blood but was probably just paint. Elena's partner, Ramirez, was cuffing the actual perp, a twitchy guy with a crowbar, 2 alleys over, but protocol was protocol. Snap judgment in the heat of the night. "Save it for the precinct, sweetheart," Elena muttered, her tone softening just a fraction as she clicked the cuffs secure. The click echoed like a gunshot in Mia's ears, final and unforgiving. But when Elena hauled her upright, their bodies brushed, hip to hip, the curve of Mia's waist grazing Elena's belt, and time stuttered. Elena's breath hitched, a soft exhale she masked with a cough, her dark eyes widening for a split second. What the hell was that? Heat flushed under her collar unbidden, as she caught the scent of Mia's skin, turpentine and vanilla, like a canvas waiting to be ruined. No. Focus. She was the badge, the wall between chaos and order. Feelings? They got you killed. The patrol car door yawned open like a beast's maw, and Mia stumbled in, the vinyl seat sticking to her thighs in the muggy heat. Elena slid into the driver's side, the engine roaring to life with a guttural purr that vibrated through the floorboards. Silence stretched between them, thick as fog rolling off the East River, broken only by the rhythmic swish of wipers smearing rain across the windshield. Mia stared out at the blurring lights of the city, Times Square's garish billboards flickering like false promises, the Brooklyn Bridge a shadowed sentinel in the distance. Her hands, bound behind her, itched for her sketchbook, for the freedom to capture this nightmare in strokes of charcoal and fury. "Why me?" Mia finally whispered, her voice raw, turning to face Elena. The dashboard glow cast Elena's profile in sharp relief. High cheekbones, full lips pressed into a thin line. A small scar hooking the edge of her left eyebrow like a question mark. Elena's hands gripped the wheel, knuckles whitening, as if steering through more than just traffic. "Wrong place, wrong time," Elena replied, her voice low, almost gentle. But there was an undercurrent, a gravelly timbre that spoke of too many sleepless nights chasing ghosts. She glanced over, and their eyes met in the rearview, green fire clashing with chocolate depths, and something shifted. A spark, electric and dangerous, arcing across the divide of steel mesh separating them. Elena swallowed hard, tasting regret like bitter coffee. Ramirez's radio crackled. "Vargas, stand down on the female." Guard ID'd the guy. "Mistake." The word hung unspoken, but Mia felt it settle like lead in her gut. Mistake. Yet as the car pulled over with a hiss of brakes, Elena didn't move to uncuff her right away. Instead, she twisted in her seat, keys jingling softly in her palm, and for a heartbeat, the world narrowed to just them, the rain pattering on the roof like hesitant applause, the faint hum of the city beyond, and the inexplicable pull drawing Elena closer. "I'm sorry," Elena said, the words rough, tumbling out like gravel under tires. Her fingers brushed Mia's as she fumbled with the lock, skin on skin, warm and alive, sending a jolt that neither could ignore. Mia's breath caught, a soft gasp escaping her lips. "Yeah? Prove it." The challenge lingered, laced with something deeper. Curiosity, defiance, a whisper of want. Elena's hand stilled, hovering, and in that suspended moment, under the sodium haze of a streetlight, the arrest that never should have been felt like the start of something unbreakable. The precinct was a fluorescent hell, buzzing lights humming like angry hornets overhead, the air stale with coffee grounds and desperation. Mia rubbed her wrists where red welts bloomed like accusation marks, perched on a hard plastic chair in the holding area. Ramirez had laughed it off. "Vargas, you nabbed Picasso's ghost." But Elena couldn't shake the knot in her chest. She'd clocked out an hour early citing paperwork, but really, it was the ghost of those green eyes haunting her. Duty called, always did, but tonight it whispered lies. Back in the alley's echo, Mia had demanded her sketchbook from the evidence locker. Her talisman, pages filled with the city's underbelly. Elena had handed it over without question, their fingers brushing again, longer this time, deliberate. "Keep your nose clean," Elena had said, voice husky, but her eyes said stay. Mia had walked away into the drizzle, shoulders squared, but the pull lingered, a thread tugging her back toward the woman who'd caged her. Now, alone in her Astoria walk-up, Elena stripped off her uniform, the fabric whispering against her skin like a sigh of relief. The mirror reflected a woman frayed at the edges. Toned arms from gym sessions that chased away the nightmares, curves softened by years of takeout and tension. She poured a glass of bourbon neat, the amber liquid burning a path down her throat, warming the hollow where doubt lived. Why her? Why now? Elena had sworn off entanglements after Sofia. Fiery Puerto Rican paramedic, gone in a hail of bullets 2 years back. Love was a distraction, a crack in the armor. But Mia was a storm in human form, wild and unapologetic, crashing against Elena's carefully built walls. Across the river in her Bushwick loft, Mia paced the scarred wood floors, sketchbook open on the easel. Charcoal flew, smudging her fingers black as she rendered Elena from memory. The stern set of her mouth, the way her eyes softened in apology, the subtle sway of her hips under that jacket. The lines bled into something erotic unintended. Elena's hand on her throat, not in arrest but possession. Mia's pulse quickened, heat pooling low in her belly. She wasn't naive, dated women before. Fleeting flings in art collectives where bodies tangled like vines. But this felt different, raw, like the city itself had conspired to throw them together. Dawn crept in, painting the skyline in blush pinks and golds. the East River glittering like shattered glass. Mia stepped onto her fire escape, coffee steaming in a chipped mug, the bitter aroma mingling with fresh rain. Below, the neighborhood stirred, bodega doors creaking open, vendors hawking bagels with that yeasty tang. She inhaled deep, grounding herself in the familiar chaos. Freedom tasted sweet but shadowed by the what if. What if Elena hadn't let go? What if she never did? Elena, miles away in her tidy one-bedroom, stared at the ceiling cracks that mapped her insomnia like fault lines. The bourbon bottle sat half empty on the nightstand, a silent judge. Her phone buzzed. Ramirez, texting a blurry photo of the real perp in lockup. Laugh emoji. But Elena's thumb hovered over a blank contact, typing then deleting. Sorry again. Drinks. Delete. Too forward. Too real. She groaned, rolling over, the sheets cool against her bare skin. Sleep came fitful, dreams laced with green eyes and the click of cuffs, echoing into the morning light. By noon, the city pulsed with midday frenzy. Horns blaring like impatient lovers, pedestrians weaving through crosswalks in a ballet of near misses. Mia hit the streets, backpack slung over one shoulder, cans of spray paint clinking like secrets. She needed to reclaim the night, to tag that warehouse wall with something triumphant. A mural of mistaken fates, two figures entwined in urban vines. But as she rounded the corner, sketchpad in hand, there she was. Elena, off-duty in jeans that hugged her like a second skin, leather jacket slung over a white tee, leaning against her unmarked sedan. Casual, but her posture screamed stakeout. You stalking me now, officer? Mia quipped, heart leaping like a skipped beat, masking the thrill with sarcasm. The air between them crackled, charged with the scent of hot dogs from a nearby cart, and the faint ozone of impending storm. Elena pushed off the car, hands in pockets, a half-smile tugging her lips, rare, disarming. Vargas. Detective. And no, just making sure you're good. Her voice dipped low, eyes tracing Mia's face, lingering on the smudge of charcoal on her cheek. Up close, without the badge's armor, Elena was stunning. Olive skin glowing under the sun, laugh lines hinting at a woman who once danced salsa in cramped Bronx halls. Mia stepped closer, close enough to catch that jasmine again, now mixed with clean soap and city grit. Good enough to sue your ass for false arrest. But her tone was playful, eyes dancing. The banter flowed easy, a bridge over the chasm of last night. Buy you coffee instead? Elena offered, nodding toward the cart, the words slipping out before duty could reel them back. Risky. Stupid. But the way Mia's lips curved, full and inviting, made the hazard feel like home. They walked in step, shoulders brushing, the city's cacophony fading to a hum. Coffee cups warmed their palms, steam curling like question marks. Mia sipped, the bitterness grounding her as she stole glances. Elena's profile against the skyline, strong yet vulnerable, like a statue cracked by time. So what's a girl gotta do to get arrested right around here? Mia teased, bumping Elena's arm. Elena chuckled, a low rumble that vibrated through Mia's bones. Stick to painting. Less paperwork. But her eyes said more, stay close, don't run. They lingered by the warehouse, Mia sketching quick lines while Elena watched, arms crossed, guard down for the first time in years. The sun dipped lower, casting long shadows, and with it, the first threads of something real wove between them. Fragile, electric, inevitable. As dusk fell, painting the bricks in fiery oranges, Elena's radio crackled faintly from her pocket. A call, distant but insistent. Duty tugged, always did. I gotta go, she said, regret thick as the twilight air. Mia nodded, handing her a napkin-scribbled sketch. Their profiles intertwined. Don't be a stranger, detective. Elena pocketed it, fingers brushing Mia's once more, deliberate, lingering. Wouldn't dream of it. She walked away into the gloaming, heart pounding harder than any chase, the napkin burning like a promise against her thigh. Mia watched her go, the city's pulse syncing with her own, a rhythm of what might be, echoing into the night. Nights in the city were alive with secrets, the kind that slithered out from under neon signs and into shadowed doorways. Elena Vargas navigated them like an old map, every corner a memory, every siren a scar. But tonight, as she pounded pavement in Hell's Kitchen, chasing a lead on a string of purse snatchings, her mind wandered to green eyes and charcoal smudges. The napkin burned a hole in her jacket pocket, pulled out in stolen moments under street lamps, two faces, hers and Mia's, rendered with a tenderness that made her chest ache. Stupid. She was a detective, not some lovesick rookie. Yet here she was, dodging a lowlife on a fire escape, boots slick on rungs wet from a passing shower, all while replaying Mia's laugh like a loop track. The perp tumbled down, grunting as he hit the dumpster with a metallic clang that echoed like a dropped shield. Elena cuffed him swift, knee in his back, the familiar rush of adrenaline masking the deeper pull. Ramirez arrived, lights flashing blue-red-blue, his grin wide under the mustache. "You good, Vargas? Look like you got ghosts tonight." He hauled the guy up, oblivious to the war in her head. "Just the job," Elena lied, voice steady as she logged the collar. But as they drove back, the dash cam's glow illuminating the sketch she'd unfolded on the seat beside her, ghosts felt too tame for what Mia stirred. Desire sharp as a switchblade. Longing quiet as rain on rooftops. Elena had buried it deep after Sofia, after the funeral with its sea of blue uniforms and the hollow echo of line of duty. No more cracks. But Mia was a fissure widening with every thought. Across town in the throb of Bushwick's art scene, Mia lost herself in a warehouse party. Bass thumping like a second heartbeat, bodies swaying under strobing lights strung from exposed beams. The air reeked of weed and sweat, cheap beer sloshing from red solo cups, laughter bubbling over the doughy DJ's drops. She nursed a gin and tonic, lime wedge bobbing like a buoy in stormy seas, her overalls swapped for a black slip dress that clung like a whisper. Friends orbited, tattooed sculptor Jax with his easy grin, poet Lena reciting verses that dripped with queer fire. But Mia's thoughts drifted to Elena's voice, that Bronx lilt wrapping around apologies like velvet over steel. A dancer bumped her, spilling fizzy droplets on Mia's thigh, cool against flushed skin. "Sorry, babe," the woman yelled over the din, all curves and confidence, leaning in with a wink. Mia forced a smile, but the touch sparked nothing. Just a faint echo of what Elena's brush had ignited. She slipped away to the rooftop, the city sprawling below like a lover's limbs, stars drowned in light pollution. Wind tugged her hair, carrying the distant honk of taxis and the sizzle of street food carts. She lit a cigarette, the flame flaring brief and orange, inhaling deep to chase the hollow. Her phone buzzed, unknown number. "Heart skipping," she answered. "Reynolds." "Vargas." Elena's voice, rough from the night's exertions, poured through like smoke. "You busy?" Mia exhaled, smoke curling into the night. "Just escaping the beautiful people." "You." "Paperwork hell." "Thought. Maybe that coffee debt." A pause heavy with unsaid words, the faint scratch of pen on notepad in the background. Elena's precinct desk, Elena imagined, surrounded by case files yellowed like old regrets. Mia grinned into the dark, pulse quickening. "Debt? Thought you were buying." Teasing light, but her free hand traced the railing's rust, grounding the flutter. "Tomorrow? 8, that cart by the warehouse." Elena's tone dipped, intimate despite the line's crackle. "Unless you're sketching someone else." "Jealousy?" Mia's laugh bubbled up, genuine. "Only ghosts, detective. See you there." Click. She stubbed the cig, embers dying like doubts, the city humming approval. Morning came soft, sunlight filtering through Elena's blinds in slivers that danced across her bare shoulders. She woke tangled in sheets, dream fragments clinging. Cuffs not cold but warm, Mia's lips parting in a sigh. Shower steam fogged the mirror, water cascading hot over tense muscles, soap lathering with that jasmine scent now forever linked. She dressed deliberate. Fitted tee hugging her frame, jeans worn soft at the knees, boots polished but scuffed from real streets. No badge today. Just Elena. The cart steamed with fresh brews, the vendor's Yiddish banter a morning ritual. Elena arrived early, leaning against a lamppost, coffee in hand, nerves jangling like loose change. Mia appeared like a vision, leggings tucked into docks, oversized hoodie swallowing her frame, backpack slung low, auburn waves loose and wild. Punctual. Impressive for a cop, Mia said, snagging a cup, their fingers grazing over the lid, electric, intentional. Blame the job. Schedules or chaos. Elena shrugged, but her eyes traced Mia's mouth on the rim, the way her throat moved with a swallow. They wandered, feet sinking on uneven sidewalks, past murals Mia pointed out with artist's pride, swirling colors telling tales of migration, loss, love in the margins. This one's mine, she said, gesturing to a wall alive with lesbian icons. Audre Lorde fierce in profile, Marsha P. Johnson laughing amid petals. The paint still fresh, scent tangy. Elena's chest tightened, respect blooming warm. Bold. Real. Her own stories surfaced unbidden. Bronx childhoods of plantain-scented kitchens, abuela's rosaries clacking during mass, the quiet rebellion of first crushes on girls' soccer teams. Grew up dodging machismo. Came out at 22. Dad still pretends it's a phase. Mia nodded, vulnerability mirroring. Iowa farm girl. Ran to the city at 18 with a duffel and dreams. Mom sends care packages of pie crusts, no notes. Laughter shared and soft bridged the gap. They paused at a bench overlooking the river. Gulls wheeling lazy, the water's lap a soothing underscore. Hours slipped, words weaving intimate, favorite dives Elena. Dim-lit Ticarius. Mia. Falafel joints with hookah haze, fears unspoken Elena. Losing another to the streets. Mia. Art world's fickle gaze. A brush of knees, accidental then not, sent heat spiraling. Elena's hand covered Mia's, thumb stroking knuckle, rough callus on soft skin. This okay? Voice gravelly, eyes searching. Mia's breath hitched, leaning in, foreheads nearly touching. More than. Lips met, tentative, salt of coffee, sweetness of want. Deepening slow, Elena's free hand cupping Mia's jaw, tilting for better angle. The kiss tasted of risk, rain fresh and urgent. Bodies pressing close as the world blurred. Horns honked distant, a vendor's call fading. Only heartbeats synced and thunderous. They broke apart gasping, foreheads pressed, Elena's whisper hot against Mia's ear. My place. If you want. Mia's nod was fervent, hand squeezing Elena's like lifeline. The walk to Astoria flew, anticipation thick as fog, hands linked swinging loose. Elena's apartment door clicked shut, sealing them in quiet domesticity. Bookshelves sagging with true crime paperbacks, a worn couch facing a fire escape view, the faint scent of sage from a smudging ritual post-Sophia. Mia's backpack hit the floor with a thud, her back arching as Elena pressed her against the wall, kisses trailing neck, nipping collarbone. God, Mia, Elena murmured, hands roaming under hoodie, palms warm on ribcage, thumbs circling nipples through lace. Mia moaned low, fingers threading Elena's hair, tugging ponytail free in a cascade of dark waves. Clothes shed in a trail, hoodie pooling, jeans kicked aside, until skin on skin, Elena's strength yielding to Mia's curves. They tumbled to the couch, Elena above, lips mapping freckles like constellations, down to the valley between breasts, tongue flicking, teasing. Mia arched, gasped sharp, nails raking Elena's back in red trails. Please, she breathed, legs parting, Elena's thigh slotting home, friction building slick and desperate. It built like a summer storm, slow rolls cresting to frantic grind, breaths mingling in sighs and whimpers, the creak of springs a private percussion. Elena's fingers found Mia's core, circling deliberate, drawing out cries that echoed off walls. Come for me, Elena growled, voice wrecked, and Mia shattered, body convulsing, name a prayer on lips. Elena followed, buried face in Mia's neck, release crashing wave-like, tears pricking unbidden. After tangled and sated breaths evening, Mia traced Elena's scar. What haunts you? Soft probing. Elena stiffened then softened. Lost my girl. Shooting. Job took her. Words cracked raw. Mia held tighter, no fixes, just presence, silent vow in the press of bodies. Night deepened, city lights twinkling like confidants through blinds. Sleep came fitful, dreams weaving them closer, but dawn brought reality's edge. Elena's phone buzzed insistent. Ramirez, urgent. Warehouse hit again, guard down bad. Duty called, siren song cruel. I have to, Elena said, regret etching face as she dressed. Mia nodded, pulling on hoodie. Kiss lingering at door, briny with goodbye. Call me. Mia asked, vulnerable. Promise. Elena watched her go, elevator ding echoing hollow. The apartment suddenly vast. Back to the streets, badge heavy but heart lighter. Tethered now to auburn waves and green fire. The chase awaited, but so did return, to Mia, to this fragile bloom. The warehouse loomed like a concrete behemoth under overcast skies. Its chain-link fence rattling in the wind off the Hudson, carrying the briny tang of the river mixed with diesel from idling cruisers. Elena Vargas arrived with sirens muted, Ramirez at her side, his coffee breath fogging the window as they scanned the scene. Yellow tape fluttered like cautionary flags, forensics techs in white Tyvek swarming the entrance, their booties whispering over gravel. The guard lay inside, not dead, thank Christ, but battered, face swollen purple, blood crusting his split lip like dried paint. Mia's paint, Elena thought, unbidden, stomach twisting. Coincidence? Or the universe's cruel joke? Perp got away through the loading dock. The uniform briefed, clipboard shaking in gloved hands. Tools scattered, crowbar, spray cans. Looks like tagging gone south. Elena nodded, jaw set, slipping under the tape. The air inside thick with dust motes dancing in flashlight beams and the metallic bite of fresh violence. She crouched by the wall, gloved finger tracing fresh graffiti. Bold strokes, not Mia's fluid style, but close enough to spike her pulse. Anarchy symbols twisted with slurs, ugly and targeted. Dike out. Her gut clenched, heat rising, personal now, slicing too close to the night before. Ramirez whistled low. Hate crime vibe. You see this? He pointed to a smeared tag, Vargas. Her name deliberate. Ice slithered down her spine, breath shallow. Who knew? Leaks in the department? Or just street whisper? Keep it quiet, she ordered, voice steel. But inside, fear gnawed. Not for herself but Mia, exposed in her boldness, a target in paint and passion. Back in the cruiser, rain starting in fat drops smacking the roof like accusations. Elena's phone burned in her pocket. She texted Mia, busy? Need to see you. Urgent but not alarming, shielding the storm. Mia's reply pinged swift. Loft. Doors open. Heart emoji. Elena exhaled, tension easing a notch, as Ramirez droned precinct gossip. She tuned out, mind-racing scenarios. Pull Mia in for protection? No, that'd cage her spirit. Talk first. Always talk. Elena leaned into the touch, vulnerability cracking her armor, pulling Mia close in a hug that smelled of wet wool and resolve. Job shit. Your wall. Hit again. Guard hurt. And. She pulled back, searching green eyes, the words sticking like tar. They wrote my name. In the tags. Mia's face paled, freckles stark against skin. Mine too. Whispered, hand flying to mouth. Elena nodded, drawing her to the couch, knees bumping as they sat thigh to thigh. The story spilled, details sparse, emotions raw. The hate scrawled like venom, the fear it unearthed, old wounds from Sophia's loss reopening like poorly stitched gashes. Mia listened, fingers interlaced, squeezing reassurance, her own fears bubbling. Art as activism, queer visibility, a double-edged blade in a city that loved you loud then spat you out. This isn't random, Mia said finally, voice steady despite the tremor. That crew from last month's show, neo-Nazis in skinny jeans spouting online bile. I clocked them staring at my pieces. Anger flared, green eyes flashing. We fight back. Mural tomorrow, reclaim it. With you. Elena hesitated, duty warring with want, the badge's weight pressing like a hand on shoulder. Can't officially. But off books. Yeah. A smile ghosted, fierce. They sealed it with a kiss. Slow burn to inferno, Mia straddling lap. Hands roaming under shirt, nails grazing ribs. Elena groaned into mouth, hips bucking up, friction delicious through denim. Bed, she rasped, lifting Mia effortless. Legs wrapping waist as they stumbled, shedding clothes in a frenzy, jacket thudding, dress whispering off. The mattress dipped under them, sheets cool silk against fevered skin. Elena worshipped slow. Lips on collarbone, tongue tracing hip bone. Fingers delving gentle then insistent, curling to draw gasps like music. Mia writhed, auburn spilling over pillows, please tumbling. Harder, yes. As release built, cresting in shudders, Elena's name a chant. She flipped them, Mia above, grinding deliberate, hands pinning wrists playful. My turn, Mia murmured, leaning down, bites along neck, fingers exploring Elena's heat, slick and welcoming. Elena arched, moan guttural, control shattering in waves, tears tracking temples in ecstasy's grip. Spent, they lay entwined, breath sinking, fingers tracing lazy patterns, scars, freckles, the map of them. Stay tonight, Mia whispered, vulnerability bare. Elena nodded, kissing temple. Every night if you'll have me. Promise hung fragile as dawn. But night brought shadows. Elena's phone lit the dark. Ramirez. Lead on your tagger. Meet at Pier 0200. Solo. She slipped from bed, Mia stirring, eyes bleary. Go. Be safe. Kiss fierce then gone. Elena dressed in silence, boots soft on floor, heart heavy. The pier stretched skeletal under moonless sky. Waves slapping pilings like impatient fists, salt air sharpened lungs. She waited, shadows her ally, Glock holstered heavy. Footsteps echoed, two figures hooded, crowbar glinting. Vargas. One sneered, voice nasal, familiar from precinct files. Tommy Hale, low-level agitator with a rap sheet longer than his IQ. Meddling dyke thinks she owns the streets. Adrenaline surged, Elena stepping forward. Hands visible but ready. Drop it, Hale. You're done. Negotiation first, protocol. But he lunged, metal whistling air. Elena dodging. Elbow cracking his jaw with satisfying thud. The second swung wild, boot connecting with her thigh, pain blooming hot. She countered knee to gut, cuff clicking one wrist to piling. Backup called silent, sirens would come. Hale spat blood, eyes hateful. Your artist's next. Paint that bitch. Rage ignited, Elena's fist connecting square. Nose crunching. Touch her, you're buried. Words venom, protective fire. Cruisers flooded, Ramirez hauling Hale up. Brows raised at Elena's split knuckle. Personal. Grin sly. She shrugged, adrenaline crashing, Mia's face anchor. Dawn patrol but first home. Mia's loft glowed welcoming, coffee brewing. Sketchpad open to their portrait, now fierce with reclaimed lines. Elena entered weary, Mia pulling her close, tending cuts with gentle swabs. Hero, Mia teased, but eyes shone worry. They talked till light broke. Plans for the mural, dreams woven queer and bold. Love bloomed tentative, roots digging deep in shared scars. Days blurred into rhythm. Elena's shifts bleeding into Mia's inspirations. Nights tangled in sheets, mornings with lazy coffees and lingering touches. The mural rose defiant. Walls alive with intertwined figures, badges and brushes entwined, slurs transmuted to symbols of resilience. Crowds gathered, phones flashing, queer youth tracing lines with reverent fingers. Elena stood guard subtle, off-duty, pride swelling chest. But cracks showed. A call from brass. Vargas, your name on that wall? Conflict. Tone probing. Elena downplayed but doubt seeded. Mia noticed over dinner in a candlelit bistro. Pasta twirling on forks, wine loosening tongues. They're watching, Elena admitted, fork pausing. Job first, always. Mia's hand covered hers, steady. But us? Question soft-edged fear. Us first. Lie? Truth? Elena hoped the latter, pulling Mia across table for kiss salt-tinged with tears. Storm brewed. Inevitable as thunderheads rolling in. October chill nipped the air. Leaves skittering across Washington Square like fleeing secrets. The arch looming gothic under sodium lamps. Elena and Mia strolled arm in arm, breaths fogging in unison, scarves loose against necks. The park pulsed evening energy. Buskers strumming folk tunes with gravelly voices, chess hustlers trash-talking over checkered boards. The faint sizzle of chestnut vendors cutting through crisp autumn bite. Mia's glove-clad hand squeezed Elena's, thumbs circling knit, a silent anchor amid the swirl. "Gallery opening tomorrow," Mia said, voice bubbling excitement tempered by nerves. "My series, Arrested Moments. Inspired by us." She bumped hip, playful green eyes sparkling under string lights. Elena's heart stuttered, warmth spreading despite the cold, pride, fierce and unyielding. The pieces, canvases capturing that alley night, cuffs as lovers' links, city grit romanticized in oils thick and textured. "Knock him dead," Elena murmured, stopping by the fountain, water tinkling like chimes. She pulled Mia close, noses brushing, lips meeting soft. Pumpkin spice from lattes, the subtle mint of gum. Deeper hands cupping faces, world fading to just them, until a wolf whistle shattered, laughter rippling from nearby benches. They broke apart, grinning, foreheads pressed. "Proud of you, artist." Mia's flush deepened, not just cold. "Come. As my +1. Hesitant, knowing the badge's shadow. Elena paused, wind-tugging jacket. Duty loomed. Double shift tomorrow, whispers of internal affairs sniffing her off-book's mural guard. But Mia's eyes, vulnerable plea, tipped scales. Wouldn't miss. Kiss sealed, walking on, fingers laced tight. The gallery nestled in Chelsea, glass facade gleaming like invitation, interior humming with clinking glasses and murmured critiques. Mia fidgeted in an emerald sheath that hugged curves, hair pinned loose, nervous energy crackling. Elena, in tailored slacks and silk blouse, felt exposed sans uniform, civilian armor thin. "You look killer," Mia whispered, hand on small back, guiding through clusters of art world elites, beret-clad collectors with wine flutes, critics in severe bobs jotting notes. The series hung central, spotlit canvases pulsing emotion. The arrest tension in blues and grays, release in gold's bleeding red. Whispers swelled. Raw. Queer triumph. Elena lingered by one. Their kiss by the river rendered ethereal, throat tight. A critic approached, silver-haired and sharp. Bold narrative. Model. Mia beamed, arm slipping Elena's waist. Partner. Word hung proud. Elena's chest expanded, claiming public stakes rising. But shadows lurked. Across the room, Tommy Hale's buddy, spotted from the pier bust, loitered, eyes narrow, phone sly. Elena tensed, hand drifting instinctive to absent holster. Trouble. Mia sensed, following gaze. Old ghost. Elena steered her away, smile mask. Night peaked, toasts flashes, then wound down, couples spilling into cabs. In Mia's loft after, adrenaline crashed to passion. Dress unzipped slow, Elena's lips trailing spine, hands kneading hips. Beautiful. Breathed against skin, Mia turning, pushing to bed, straddling with wicked grin. Love-making urgent. Fingers thrusting deep, mouths devouring cries. Bodies slick in candle flicker. Release dual and shattering, names sobbed like vows. Morning brought hangover haze, coffee bitter on tongues, but Elena's phone shattered peace. IA summons. Vargas, my office. 0900. Gut plummeted. Mia stirred, sensing storm. Go. We'll handle. The precinct conference room smelled of stale donuts and authority. Captain Hale, no relation, thank God. Folders stacked like indictments. Your extracurriculars. He started, tapping mural photos. And that name tag? Personal involvement. Eyes bored, unyielding. Elena sat ramrod, palms damp. Protected a civilian. Artist community targeted. Truth half, omission full. No lines crossed. Hale leaned, voice low. Lines blurred, detective. Suspension pending review. 2 weeks. Clean slate or deeper dig. Hammer drop. Elena nodded, numb. Exiting to chaos of ringing phones and barked orders. Badge feeling phantom. Outside, rain lashed gray, matching mood. She capped to loft, key turning heavy. Mia opened, face falling at expression. Suspended. Words flat. Elena collapsing onto couch, head in hands. Mia knelt, arms encircling. Because of us? Partly. Elena's laugh bitter. Badge chafes when you love outside lines. Admission raw, tears hot. Mia held rocking gentle whispers of we'll fight mingling with rain's patter. Days stretched suspended, Elena's routine fractured. Mornings with Mia's sketches instead of briefings. Afternoons walking high line, hands clasped against autumn bite. Sharing silences heavy but healing. Elena opened scars. Sophia's laugh echoing in dreams. Guilt's weight like lead vest. Mia shared fractures. Father's disownment post coming out. Art as armor against invisibility. Nights deep in intimacy. Slow explorations by firelight. Elena learning Mia's sighs like braille. Mia mapping Elena's tensions with oils and thumbs. One evening, over takeout lo mein steaming on coffee table, Mia broached. Fight back. Appeal. Or leave the grind. Elena forked noodles, contemplative. Jobs me. But you're more. Kiss over cartons, soy sauce salty on lips. Storm broke midweek. Ramirez off record at door with burner phone. Hale's crew leaks to agitators. I blind. Dig if you want. Loyalty glint. Elena nodded, fire rekindling. On it. They dove clandestine Elena's contacts, Mia's street ears, piecing digital trails. Forums spewing hate tied to precinct mole. Nights hold in loft, laptops glowing, takeout wrappers piling, breakthroughs punctuated by stolen touches, tension fueling passion. Climax. Evidence packet anonymous drop to IA. Waiting nod. Tension peaked at gallery follow-up, private viewing intimate. But as they dressed, Elena's regular buzzed, recall. Clean. Mole busted. Relief crashed, Elena scooping Mia, spin laugh in loft. We're good. But victory bittersweet, job reclaimed but fractures lingered. Over rooftop dinner, city twinkling below, Mia voice fear. What if next time breaks us? Elena cupped face, eyes fierce. Then we rebuild. Together. Toast with cheap wine, stars winking complicit. Yet undercurrents stirred. Hale's crew vowed revenge, whispers of bigger hits. Love's bloom faced thorns, city indifferent witness. Winter clawed and fierce, snow blanketing Brooklyn and hush white, muffling the usual roar to a whisper of tires on slush and distant shovels scraping sidewalks. Elena's breath puffed clouds as she trudged to the precinct, collar turned against bite, mind replaying the night's argument, first real fracture. Mia's voice sharp over cooling pasta. You're gone again. Job swallows you whole. Elena's defense heated. It's who I am. Can't quit cold. Door slam echoed, silence thick as the chill seeping through windows. The bullpen buzzed fluorescent, detectives hunched over screens, coffee rings staining desks like battle scars. Ramirez clapped shoulder, grin crooked. Snow day's gift. Lead on Hale's remnants. Meet at the old docks, 1300. Elena nodded, burying personal storm, suiting up. Vest heavy, Glock reassuring weight. But as she geared, Mia's text pinged. Miss you already. Sorry. Heart cracked open, Elena typing swift. Home soon. Love. Send. Anchor in the gale. The dock stretched skeletal, rusted cranes like frozen giants. Wind whipping off the bay with fishy tang and ice needles sting. Elena and Ramirez flanked the warehouse, boots crunching frost-lace gravel, radios crackling low. Intel pointed here. Hale's crew holing up, planning retaliation, target vague but queer-coded, Mia's gallery on radar. Elena's pulse thrummed, protective fury simmering under skin. They breached quiet door creaking protest, interior dank with mold and motor oil, shadows pooling deep. Voices drifted, muffled laughs laced malice. Ramirez signaled left, Elena right, heart-pounding sync to drip-drip of leaky pipe. Corner turned, scene froze. 3 figures, map spread on crate, marker circling Chelsea Arts. Mia's turf. Rage blinded, Elena lunging. NYPD. Down. Chaos erupted, chairs scraping, fists flying. Elena tackled lead, knee and back, cuff clicking cold. Ramirez grappled second, grunt echoing as elbow connected jaw. Third bolted, footfalls pounding toward exit. Elena pursuing, boots slamming concrete, breath ragged in lungs. Alley outside, snow swirling blind, she cornered him against fence. Hale's lieutenant, face twisted sneer. Vargas. Predictable. End of line, she growled, gun steady, but he smirked, tossing phone, screen live streaming, camera on Mia's loft window, figure inside sketching unaware. Terror iced veins. Touch her, you die slow. Words venom, shoving him down, backup swarming. Collar secured, cruiser ride back silent, Elena's mind cyclone. Call Mia, warn, protect. Phone out, dialing voicemail. Panic spiked, cab to loft frantic, snow blurring lights to halos. Door burst open, Mia startling from easel, brush clattering. Elena? What? Safe. Elena panted, scanning room, hands trembling as she pulled Mia close, heartbeat thunder against ribs. Story tumbled, raid, threat, the stream's violation. Mia paled, arms tightening. They watched me. Whisper horror, body shaking. Elena held, rocking, murmurs of gone now. Over. But fracture widened, trust thread fraying. Night fell heavy, fire crackling in hearth, mulled wine steaming mugs, but words hung barbed. Mia curled on rug, knees hugged. Can't live scared. Art's my fight, yours too, but it drags us under. Elena knelt, hand on knee. Quitting means surrender. To them. To fear. Debate stretched, voices rising then softening, tears salting cheeks. Breakthrough fragile. Compromise, Elena's reduced hours, community liaison shift. Mia's pieces anonymized online but bold in person. Seal with touch, slow reconciliatory. Elena's lips on pulse point, hands unbuttoning deliberate, Mia's sighs forgiveness. Bed claimed them gentle, explorations tender. Fingers tracing snowmelt skin, tongues mapping apologies, climaxes quiet waves, holding through aftershocks. Dawn gilded frost-lace windows, peace tentative. Elena dressed reluctant, badge lighter with promise. Dinner? Neutral ground. Mia nodded, kiss lingering, door closed soft. Shift dragged, paperwork avalanche but Ramirez's nudge. Captain's eye on promo. Your calls sealed it. Nod to the bust. Elena's chest lifted, possibility blooming. Text Mia, home by 7. Ty. Reply swift. Yes. Pat CW. Heart. But city conspired. Mid-afternoon gallery call. Threat scrawled on wall, Vargas plus artist equals targets. Mia's voicemail shaky. Handle it. Elena bolted, cruiser screaming through slush, heart vice grip. Gallery facade marred. Red paint dripping like blood. Dikes burn. Crowd murmured, phones out, Mia inside pale, arms crossed defensive. Elena stormed in, uniform authority pulling Mia aside. We end this. Voice steel but eyes soft plea. Together they planned press conference, mural expansion. Wall of solidarity, queer voices amplified. City Hall bought in, mayor's office PR gold. Event swelled. Artists, activists, badges mingling under floodlights, snow falling confetti-like. Elena spoke brief, hand in Mia's hidden. Hate hides. We stand lit. Cheers erupted, cameras flashing. Love's declaration subtle but seismic. After, Loft Haven bodies celebrating. Urgent, victorious. Mia atop, grinding fierce, Elena's hands bruising hips, cries echoing off beams, release explosive, collapsing laughter, tears. Winter deepened, bond forging stronger in forge of trials. Holidays neared, strings twinkling in windows, but undercurrents hummed. Hale's trial looming, shadows lengthening. Love's fire warmed but embers warned of blaze. Spring uncoiled reluctant. Cherry blossoms tentative along the high line. Petals drifting like pink confetti on breezes laced with thaw mud and vendor pretzels salt. Elena Vargas breathed it deep, leaning on rail beside Mia. Fingers laced loose, the river below churning brown with melt. 5 months since the alley click, cuffs to commitment, arrest to anchor. Yet lately silences stretched, unspoken weights pressing like summer's approach. The trial had gutted them. Hale's crew spilling bile in court, slurs hurled like grenades, Elena testifying stone-faced, Mia in gallery sketching justice's grim face. Verdict swift, convictions stacked but victory hollow, media circus dredging Sophia's ghost. Headlines screaming cops lesbian vendetta? Elena's promo stalled, whispers in halls turning cold shoulders. Nights she'd wake sweat slick, Mia's arm heavy comfort, but dawn brought distance. Mia buried in commissions, Elena in overtime chases. Today picnic planned, neutral reclaim. Basket unpacked on checkered cloth. Sandwiches crusty, grapes bursting juice, wine chilled beads on bottle. Mia popped cork. Fizz hissing effervescent, pouring plastic flutes. To us, she toasted, eyes green but shadowed. Elena clinked, sipped hard on tongue but words faltered. Lately. Feels off. Blunt, heart exposed. Mia set glass down, petal caught in hair like crown. Job's ghost again. You vanish in it. Voice even but hurt threaded. Elena winced, hand reaching. Trying. Liaison gig. Less streets, more community. Truth half. Old habits died screaming. Talk meandered, raw fears voiced. Mia's of fading into Elena's shadow. Elena's of losing another to Badge's maw. Breakthrough cracked open. Therapy joint, queer counselor in village, sessions unpacking crates of baggage. Together. Elena asked, vulnerable. Mia's nod, tears glistening. Always. Picnic lingered, bodies reclining, heads on thighs, fingers combing hair as clouds scud. Laughter returned, easy, recounting alley night. Cuffs chill now, fond memory. Kiss bloomed slow, wine sweet, deepening to heat. Hands wandering under shirts, but public I held them teasing. Evening found them at home show. Mia's invite, underground club pulsing bass through veins. Drag queens lip-syncing anthems fierce. Elena, beer in hand, watched Mia sway, hips hypnotic, pulling her to floor. Dance clumsy joyful, bodies grinding rhythm, sweat slick, breaths hot necks. Backstage after queens makeup smudged, hugs traded. You too? Power. Validation bomb. Loft return, adrenaline alight. Door barely shut, clothes frantic shed. Elena pressing Mia to wall, thigh between legs, friction sparking moans. Want you? Growled, fingers dipping, curling expert. Mia's head thrown back, cries sharp. Countertop claimed next, Mia bent. Elena behind, thrusts deep with strap. Rhythm pounding like heart, release dual scream, collapsing giggles. Summer swelled, heat wave sticky. AC humming futile against humidity. Sessions peeled layers. Elena voicing Sophia's echo. Mia father's silence. Progress tangible. Elena's hours trimmed. Mia's walls featuring their story subtle icons. Pride Month exploded rainbow, parade march handhold proud, confetti rain cheers see. But climax brewed. Anonymous tip. Remnant cell, Hale's shadow plotting gallery torching. Opening night, Mia's retrospective. Elena mobilized quiet, detail leading stakeout. Mia briefed reluctant but trusting. Night arrived sweltering, gallery aglow, crowd glittering, collectors press, queer icons toasting Mia's ascent. Elena patrolled perimeter, vest chafing, eyes scanning shadows. Inside, Mia shone, dress sapphire, speech heartfelt. Art arrests us, in moments, in love. Applause thunder, Elena's heart swell. Midway flicker, arsonist spotted, canisters glinting. Elena radioed silent, intercepting alley, scuffle brutal. Punches landed, knee to groin, cuffs final click. Flames averted, perp hauled, gallery safe. Crowd dispersed unaware. Mia finding Elena post-chaos. Bloodied lip but grin wide. My hero, whispered, pulling to green room, door lock snick. Celebration private, dress hiked. Elena kneeling, tongue worshipful. Mia's hands fisting hair, climax shuddering. Reciprocated slow, Elena on vanity. Legs spread. Mia's mouth heaven release arching. After rooftop under stars, city hum below. Elena on new ring simple, silver band etched cuffs entwined. Marry me? Not mistake but forever. Voice crack, hope bear. Mia's tears joy, nod fervent. Yes. All in. Kiss sealed, meaningful end. Arrest to alliance, mistake to meaning. Love's hold eternal, unbreakable as dawn's promise.